Alright, what is up guys? So it's been 3, maybe even 4 months now since I dropped a video. I apologize for that. I know I should have kept up better with things. I have multiple excuses, and that's what they are. They're excuses. So, I mean, I've moved twice over the past couple of months, and honestly, I didn't think the car would give me this many issues. I figured I'd be able to pump out content and be able to keep providing stuff, and instead the car has just been issue after issue after issue. And that's what this video is about. This is an update video on the car and why I'm getting rid of it and what I might be getting next. Alright guys, so I'm sitting in the rental F-150 right now because it's actually kind of chilly and windy as fuck in Florida right now. So I guess it's going to be boring and I'm going to be sitting in a car. But here's the update video that a lot of you have been asking for. About 3 months ago or so, we got the car back from the first transmission and we thought everything was good to go. They told me that it was a brand new transmission and that they'd fix the issues with the shift forks and that we were going to be good. So got the new transmission and about 1,000 miles went by or so and the battery in the car died. And I thought that was kind of weird being a brand new car, but whatever. I was like, hey, it's out on the lot for a couple of months. Maybe, you know, they never started it and the battery just, you know, went to shit. So I tried taking it to the dealership and I went through 3 different dealerships that refused to even look at the battery for me, telling me that there was nothing wrong with it. It finally got so low that it popped an engine code and told me that there was an issue with the PCM communicating to the rest of the car. So they wanted to keep my car for a week to figure out what was wrong with it. And I knew what was wrong with it. It was the battery. If you jump started it, it was fine. So I got in contact with a friend that worked at Ford. They looked at the battery, they tested the battery, no shit, 2 cells were bad, and the battery had to be replaced. So after fighting multiple dealerships on that, I finally got a battery replacement, which I figured on a brand new car shouldn't be that fucking difficult, but it was. So I got the battery replaced, and everything was good for like a month, I guess. And randomly, the active exhaust stopped working, and it would go into almost like a limp mode for the active and the status functions. So like I couldn't drive in track mode, even throttle response wise. If you can't change the active exhaust mode for sound, it won't let you change it for the driving mode either. So I drove around in fucking quiet mode all the time because I got stuck in quiet mode. Ford kept telling me that they'd make me an appointment and I'd make an appointment and then the appointment would get pushed back and they couldn't find anything wrong with it. So apparently my active exhaust decided it didn't want to work. I'd say about a week into the active exhaust not working, it magically started working again. And then it would stop. And then it would start. And then it would stop. And then it would start. And then it would stop. And it was constant start, stop, working. All this while, I'm wondering whether or not the transmission is going to continue to hold. And it has. I'd say it was about 2,500 miles and the transmission was still holding strong. So we were good on that front. The engine tick noise that I had since like day 1 had finally disappeared. And I was like, holy shit, yes, it's finally gone. Like whatever the fuck it was causing that is gone and it's not bad, I thought. I'd say about 2 weeks after the active exhaust stopped working again, the engine noise came back, and this time it was worse than ever. It was extremely loud. You could literally start the car and walk to the other end of a parking lot and hear it. So like I'd start the car up and you'd just see people look over like, what the fuck is that noise? And I got it looked at and I got it looked at and I got it looked at and they told me it was normal. They'd pull one off the lot and it'd make noise and they'd be like, see, this one makes noise, so obviously it's normal and you're good to go. It wasn't normal. It's not normal. I know what DI sounds like. It was way louder than that. It was also coming from the bottom end of the motor, not the top end where the injectors or the pump is. So I don't know what the fuck they were on, but it's not normal. So come to find out now, after I'm already in the buyback process, Ford has an internal note on the engine noise. And for those of you that don't know, an internal note is something that's on their bulletin board that their techs can see, but we don't get any information on it. And Ford is currently referring to the noise as the typewriter tick. And the typewriter tick, as they are concerned with, is a piston slap that is caused by the thinning of the coating that they put on the cylinder walls. I'm assuming it's the same issue that they were having on the GT350s that are causing people to go through multiple motors. However, Ford's exact words for it for their dealerships is to let it go, and when the motors go, they'll replace them. So Ford's not concerned with making sure that your car runs well or fixing it. And I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, because yes, getting an entirely new motor, I guess, is better than having them tear down and just replace what's broken in it. But it shouldn't fucking have this issue. It shouldn't. It's a brand new car. And the amount of people having this issue is staggering. It is absolutely dumbfounding to me how Ford as a company can deal with this the way they are. And every second longer that I'm in this process, it makes me want to Ford less and less and less and less. So fast forward, I'd say 3,000, 4,000 miles, another 2 months or so, and the active exhaust is finally working every day again, and the motor noise has gone away. And I was driving the car down to a car event, Cletus and Cars. It was on a Saturday, and I was literally casually driving down to the event, and Tiffany, my girlfriend, was sitting in the passenger seat, shifted into third gear, nothing was there. Shifted directly into fifth and just started laughing, and she looked over at me and was like, "What's so funny? I don't see what happened." I went, "My transmission's gone again." And as we pulled into the event, you could put it into third or fourth gear and just leave it there, and nothing. The shift forks were gone again. So now I'm at like 15,000 miles, and I've lost 2 transmissions, a battery, my active exhaust doesn't work, and my motor ticks. And I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm over this. I could have gone and bought a Tremec. I could have saved the car, but what's the point? It is constant issue after issue after issue. So I took the car back to the dealership I had been working with on warranty work, and I had them take it back in. And I said, FYI, I'm dropping this off with you guys to get it fixed, but I'm starting the buyback process with Ford. So, you know, it is what it is. And they told me it'd be done in a week. And they gave me this lovely F-150 rental that I'm in right now. And I've had this truck for 3 weeks now because the estimate on parts timing was wrong. Go figure. Same thing happened last time. So I'm 3 weeks now into the car sitting there again, which means the car's been at Ford for 90 total days now of the time that I've owned it. And the last call I got on it told me that it would be another 3 to 4 weeks before it was done. So we're talking over 100 days this car is going to sit in the shop as a brand new vehicle. That's 40%, 50% of the time that I've owned the car. I'm fucking done with it. I'm over it. It is a utter piece of shit, and they don't care. They don't. My local Ford dealership does a great job at like keeping me updated and trying to do what they can do, I guess. But as far as I can see from the corporate side, no one gives a fuck. So I started the buyback process, and on Wednesday of last week, I was supposed to hear back about it, and I didn't. Thursday, I got a phone call telling me that my Ford rep was now out of the office and that someone else would be handling it and that they had to restart all the paperwork. So they restarted it and told me that Friday I would hear about it. Friday came along and I didn't hear about anything. I told them that if I didn't hear from them Monday that I'd be calling my attorney. And of course they called me at 9 a.m. this morning, Monday. And so they called me and she told me that my buyback had been approved. And I was like, no shit. I kind of figured it would be, especially if it sat there for 100 days and it's still sitting there and it's been through all of the issues that it's been through. So what are you guys going to do for me? She goes, oh, well, when it gets approved, it goes to Ford Reacquired Vehicles and they review the case and then they're going to call you and give you a couple of offers. And that could typically take 5 to 7 business days. What do you mean? Like, what exactly do you have to further review? You spent a week reviewing this past one to approve it, and if you approved it, then what do you mean? No, there's 2 offers that you're going to give me. You're either going to give me back my money or you're going to replace it with something better. And don't worry, I already know how many of you are going to tell me that I'm being whiny and that I need to shut up and that I need to be grateful or whatever else, and the answer is no. I purchased a brand new vehicle and it's a lemon. It's had the issues. And when I say replace it with something better, I'm not saying, yo, Ford, give me a GT350R because I fucking need it because I put up with your bullshit. No, I'm saying that if you're going to try and offer me a vehicle, you're going to offer me a 2019 with equal packages to what I have. And honestly, I believe that with all the bullshit, you need some sort of compensation. You have to give me a reason to want to stay with you as a company. Because at this point in time, I don't want to. I don't want another Ford right now. Why would I want these issues again? Why do I want to buy a 19 and have the same fucking problems? And to everyone who's going to say, oh, just buy the 10R80. The 10R80 is great. The 10R80 has fucking issues too. People are burning out second and third gear clutches like they're nothing because on the stock computer, on the PCM, it has no idea what to do with the tune. Go and test drive one. Seriously, go and test drive one, leave everything on, punch the gas, and then let off, and it will hang. That car will sit at 6,000 RPM in first gear for fucking 8 or 9 seconds before it decides to shift into second gear. That's not normal. Turn off traction control. You know what it does? It shifts through the gears absolutely perfectly. Because when the car senses tire spin, it stops the accelerator pedal, but it holds the RPM range that it's at. Like this rental F-150 right now, the transmission's shit. It's got the 10R80 in it, and it has so many fucking issues. It is so goddamn clunky, and it hangs constantly while driving. It just burns gas for no fucking reason, sitting at high RPMs in lower gears than it needs to be in. It's not an answer to it. It has issues too. So as of right now, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't. Because if they give me my cash back, every bit of me right now wants to go somewhere else. Every bit of me wants to go find something better. And then at the same time, you look at those that have good Mustangs, and you look at, like, when I had my 13, and I go, I know what I can get for the value here, and there's absolutely nothing that I can purchase for the same price that's going to come even close. Let's say that I wanted to get into a Viper. Cool, I could go buy a Viper. If I wanted to spend the same amount, I'd get like a 2004. If I wanted to get something slightly nicer, I'd almost double the amount that I'm paying. And don't get me wrong, a Viper is awesome, but there's no technology in the car at all. So if I wanted my heated seats, if I wanted my cooled seats, if I wanted my nav, not available, not a thing. So sure, let's go look at a CTSV, right? Because those are cool. Yeah, they're also $120,000 for a new one. And any of the older ones that, you know, like Gen 2 and back, I'm sorry, I don't want a Gen 1, and I don't want a Gen 2. So that's out of the question, and y'all know I'm not getting a Camaro. What about a Corvette though, right? Because you can go buy a C6 Z06 for nothing. Again, there's no technology in that car at all. It is a bare bones race car, which is awesome, but I daily drive the car, so it's not gonna work for me. So that leaves us with where we are right now. I am going to hear back from Ford. They're probably going to give me the option of money back or a newer car, and I don't know where to go with it, because if I get the newer car, I might have the same exact issues. And if I go with the cash and walk away, then what do I get? There's nothing else that I want, and that's the shitty part of this situation, is that I truly enjoy driving my Mustang. I do. I loved the car when it worked, and I loved my 2013, but I fucking hate Ford as a company, and that's a really, really shitty position to be in as the consumer. As always, thank you to all of you who ask me to put out more videos and enjoy watching these and keep supporting me through it, especially in times like the past few months where I've just kind of disappeared and done nothing. This video right here doesn't mean that a lot more are coming anytime soon, unfortunately. I will attempt to keep you guys updated with the buyback process and how exactly that goes and how Ford tries to fuck me on that if they do. And then, you know, that's kind of all I can promise right now. I don't have anything to post. I don't have anything to talk about. I don't have a car right now. So I guess it is what it is. Like I said, I appreciate those of you who do message me on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook and ask me when the next video is coming out. Ask me how the car is doing. Ask me how I'm doing. I appreciate the support from all of you. And until next time, guys.